Welcome to my podcast. Today's episode focuses on curriculum objectives, what they are, why they matter, and how they guide effective teaching and learning. We'll break them down in simple terms and explain how well defined objectives shape instruction, assessment, and learner success. Let's dive in. An educational objective is a statement of intent describing a proposed change in the behavior of learners towards a desired direction. When properly stated about the education of a country, they are referred to as educational goals. And these goals, they need to be smart. That is, they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound because they are the institutional or instructional objectives. The Kenya National Goals of Education form a basis for the formulation of objectives for the various educational levels. And the curriculum objectives are expressed in three categories. That is, number one, aim of education, 2, goals of education, 3, instructional objectives. Now, let us explain more or go deep to these objectives or how they are expressed so that we can able to understand more on these curriculum objectives. So number one, aims of education. Aims are the general and broad statements of intent that provide direction or intent to educational actions. The educational aims guide the educational system in the process of planning educational content. And the aim of the written or they are often written in amorphous terms using words like learn, know, understand, and appreciate, etc. And they are not directly measured. The aims of education. Number 2, let us go to goals of education. Goals are broad statements of educational intentions which are specified for each level of schooling from pre-primary education to higher education levels. They are time-bound and are stated as expected end result of schooling at each level of Kenyan education. And they can be either amorphous language or in more specific behavioral terms. And lastly, number 3, the instructional objectives. What are instructional objectives? These are specific, measurable, short-term, observable students' behavior. They indicate the desirable knowledge, skills, and or the attitude to be gained. An instructional objective is the focal point of a lesson plan. Now, how do we develop an instructional objective? Before developing or framing an objective or an instructional objective, you have to analyze two things. 1, the student, and 2, the content you are going to give out. And on the student, what are the characteristics or factors that you are going to check? On the student, 1, you need to check the knowledge level. Which level has this student reached so that you can know which objectives you are going to put out. 2, the understanding of the subject. How are you going to do the understand? How will you know the understanding of the subject? You can ask some questions. Yes, you can tell them to define some words. You can be able to know the level by the how they are answering the questions. And lastly, the level of competency. Yes, you can give out some tests to be able to know at the end of it, how well have they captured, or how well do they know this unit or this concept? And number 2 was the content. When you want to develop the instructional objective, number 2, you have to check on the content. And this is the level of the content. How are you going to package the content? And number 2, the gap analysis. What is missing? What are you going to engage? What are you going to use so that can be able to give out, or can be able to deliver the content that you have? Now, let us look at the functions of the curriculum objectives. We've defined, we've known the why it is there, because it is there to describe the purpose and the change in the behavior of a learner towards a desirable direction. So, what are the functions of a curriculum objective? Number 1 is to define the direction of educational development. 2, to determine the number of levels for the program. 3, inform students of the standards and expectations of the course. 4, drive the curriculum planning. 5, reflect the needs and aspirations of society. 6, it serves as a guide in evaluating instructional progress. And 7, it guides the decisions about the selections of content, learning experiences, and the learning strategies. And lastly, it serves as an implicit contract between instructor and student, setting up a basis for accountability. So, those are the factors or the functions of curriculum development. Thank you. I wish you well. See you on our next lesson. Thank you.